All right, so we are on 11.8b, and we are going to talk about multiplying radicals. So I'm on page 817 in your textbook, and what we are going to do is review FOILing. So if you remember FOILing, we did earlier this year. The F stands for first, the O stands for outer, the I stands for inner or inside, and the L stands for last. So just to refresh your memory, we only do this when we have binomials, so two terms multiplied by two terms. And what you'll probably remember is something like x plus 2 times x minus 3. And when we did a problem like this, we did our first terms, x times x squared, x times negative 3x, 2 times x gave me 2x, that was our inside. And our last terms, 2 times negative 3 gave me negative 6. And then we put our center terms together, giving us x squared minus x minus 6. So that's what we are going to learn how to do today. The only difference is they're going to have radicals in them. So again, I'm on page 817 in your textbook, and we are going to FOIL. All right, so our first terms are 4 times 3. That gives me 12. My outside term is 4 times negative square root of 5. So I'm going to take care of the negative symbol because a positive times a negative is negative. Now this 4 is on the outside. This square root of 5 is underneath. So you write it as 4 on the outside, square root of 5 underneath. All right, our inside term is the square root of 5 times 3. So positive value, we have the 3 on the outside, the square root of 5 underneath. And then our last term, we have a positive times a negative, so right away I know it's negative. Square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 25. And then we get excited because the square root of 25 is just 5, so we'll fix that. All right, let's look at our whole numbers on here. We got 12 minus 5. That gives me 7. And then these guys in the center are like terms, so we can put these guys together. So negative 4 plus 3 would give me negative 1, and we keep the square root of 5 next to it. Now, you can write your answer like this. It's 100% correct. Or you don't have to write the 1 there. You can write 7 minus the square root of 5. Both of those answers are acceptable. All right, let's try example number 4. Oops, and I should be saying these are example number 3. My mistake. Example number 3. All right, so we are on example number 3, and it is B. Now, we see the square root of 7 minus 5, and then there's this squared on the outside. So the first thing I want you to remember from when we FOILed is that means we write this binomial twice. All right, we are still FOILing, so let's go ahead and do this. We would have the square root of 7 times the square root of 7, which is the square root of 49, which we know is 7 right off the bat, so if you'd like to simplify that. All right, then we go our outside terms. The square root of 7 times negative 5, that would be negative 5 square root of 7. Inside terms, negative 5 times the square root of 7 is again negative 5 square root of 7. And last but not least, negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. All right, so whole numbers, we got the 7, the 25, so 7 plus 25 is 32. And then with our radical pieces in the center, negative 5 minus 5 more is negative 10 square root of 7. All right, so there's our answer for that one. Now, I know these are new to us, so let's practice a couple more examples to make sure we get the hang of it. So again, these are just extra, and we are FOILing. So on here, we need to make sure that we have our first terms. 3 times 8, that gives me 24. 3 times the negative square root of 3, so that would be negative 3 square root of 3. All right, our inside terms, square root of 3 times 8 would give me positive 8 square root of 3. And last but not least, we have a positive and a negative, so this will be negative square root of 9, which we know right off the bat we like. We can just change that to a 3. All right, so for our whole numbers, 24 minus 3, that gives me 21. All right, and then our middle stuff in the center that we want to put together, we have negative 3 plus 8. That'll give me positive 5 square root of 3. All right, let's try one more extra example. So again, we are FOILing because we've got 2 terms times 2 terms. So we have 4 times the square root of 3. So that would be 4 square root of 3. All right, our outside, we have 4 times negative 5. That would give me negative 20 All right, our inside terms, we have a negative times a positive. That's going to be negative. Square root of 3 times 3 is 9. All right, maybe right now you go ahead and cross that out and put a 3 so you remember. And then our last one, we'd have a negative times negative, which is positive, and it would be 5 square root of 3. All right, so my whole numbers are actually found right here in the center this time. So negative 20 minus 3 more gives me negative 23. All right, and then putting our radical pieces together, we have a positive 4 square root of 3 and a positive 5 square root of 3. That would give me positive 9 square root of 3. All right, so there's my final answer on there. Now, for your homework for 11.8b, you have page 819. You're going 13 through 17, odd. Okay, and just as a reminder, this is why I wrote this here. This is your foiling section. Okay, and then the next section, when you have 27 through 35 odd, you're reviewing what you learned in the previous lesson of 11.8a. So just a little bit of review. All right, good luck with your homework.